Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. Insecurity calls for the creation of forest guards to beef up security in unmanned areas, especially in northern Nigeria, where there has been a prevalence of bandits activities, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and even terrorism has increased in the last couple of months. And away from that, the Muslim rights concern, MURIC has called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to ensure that his government's political appointments are inclusive, representing all regions, faiths, and sections of the country. MURIC expressed concern that the appointments made by President Tinubu have predominantly favored Yorubas and the Christians, stating that the appointments lack balance. MURIC cited instances where key economic positions, including the Minister of Finance and the newly nominated CBN governor, were given to Christians and Yorubas. They also highlighted the omission of competent Muslim figures like Professor Ali Pantami and Malam Nasir El-Rufai from ministerial appointments. And in a similar vein, an assembly of Christian youths representing the 19 northern states and the Federal Capital Territory, organized under the banner of the All Christian Youths in northern Nigeria, has praised President Tinubu for what they consider to be an inclusive style of governance. In particular, the group applauded the appointments of Christians to key roles in the government, including Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa. And joining us now to discuss these issues and more, we have in the studio Isaac Abrak. He's a hostile environment journalist with vast experience both in national and international media. Incidentally, he is also the chairman of Northern Christian Youth Professionals. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Hamza.
You are wearing two caps today.
Yes.
Yes, an environmentalist and also leader of the Christian Youth. And from our synopsis, you can see these are burning issues. Just yesterday, maybe we should start with the politics.
Very well.
Yes, MURIC said Tinubu is a disappointment from what he has done on one hand. And on the other hand, it is Christian youths that are pressing him that, after all, he has proved them right or wrong for the balanced appointment he has. What is your take on that?
Basically, I commend all groups, both MURIC and the Christian groups. Nigeria is in a state whereby these conversations have to keep on going, you know, so that we can balance in our insecurities. What has brought us here previous years, you know, of what has brought us here are previous years of not so good governance. The dividend of democracy has not so been equally distributed, and as such, you find all groups trying to protect themselves. I remember that during the elections or before the elections, the Christian communities, particularly in the north, were against the Muslim ticket, you know, were against the Muslim ticket, you know, and as such, it was because they were feeling insecure, you know, especially maybe given from previous regimes, you know, the dividend of democracy have not been adequately distributed, and as such, people feel a little bit insecure. But today, we have this, a group coming up, a Christian northern group coming up to say, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, thank you very much, thank you for proving us wrong, because we are astonished that your government has been all-inclusive. And again, the Muslim group is saying, no, you have left us out. In all of this, Bola Ahmed Tinubu should continue to give out the dividend of democracy. These groups are only trying to protect, you know, for themselves, and also, and if they are doing it in good stead, it is a step in building national cohesion, because at every point in time, we must have groups speaking for themselves. But if I'm to access that, I would say that the president has been balanced in his appointment. If you look at the Muslims have had very key roles, you know, in terms of his ministers. We have two governors, former governors, as ministers of defense, both are northern Muslims. We have the Minister of Agriculture, you know, and all of those. We have the NSA, you know, a security chief, you know, a Muslim. The Christians have the chief of defense staff. You know, they have the SGF and all of. So these are a balance. You know, and going forward, it's the government is still very young. There are still appointments that are going to come, and I believe that the president is going to continuously try to balance all of this. But what I'm saying in all of this is that Murid, the Northern Christian concerned, the Northern Christian group, if their criticisms is in good state, is in towards national cohesion and national development, then everybody is doing what is supposed to be done, and the president should listen.
Okay, at what point do you think we should start moving forward, not reducing appointments along ethnic and religious lines, rather than professionalism?
Thank you very much. I think being a journalist now going into politics, I think this government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which was a Muslim ticket, it is moving on the right direction. It is going to succeed, and I pray it succeeds. Once this government actually succeeds and satisfies, you know, all Nigerians, at least to a level of that we can say yes, to a fair level, because you cannot satisfy everybody 100%, but fairly, people now will not have problems on who the religion of the person who is appointed into office or the ethnicity of the person who is appointed into office. But so what I'm saying, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is an opportunity, and this is what we have been saying, is an opportunity to do away with these parochial thinkings, to do away with this sentiment. Once it succeeds, once this Muslim ticket succeeds, we will no longer have any problem during appointment. We will have a Christian ticket, and Muslims will not complain. We will have an appointment where the president and the vice president would not be Christian or Muslims, and nobody will care, as long as the dividends of democracy are adequately shared amongst the people and there is good governance. We would not complain.
Most likely your group, the Northern Christian Youth Professionals, was not part of those who issued the latest statement. But ahead of the election, I hosted you here.
Yes.
And you supported the Muslim ticket. Are you disappointed, or you are satisfied?
I am absolutely satisfied. I am satisfied. One of the big goals that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to score is to prove those Christians whom thought he was going to do a Muslim ticket, whom thought that the Muslim ticket was going to be a jihadist to convert all Nigerians to a Muslim state. You know, so if today you have the Christians whom thought otherwise, now coming to admit that, sir, thank you for proving us wrong, you have included us in this government, then it means that our support for the Muslim ticket, our support that anybody in Nigeria, as far as you have good intention to lead, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, you know, it doesn't matter. That means that we have been vindicated. And we call on all other Nigerians to look at the Northern Christian Youth Professionals and take a lead from what we did by supporting a Muslim ticket. And today it is benefiting everybody. So therefore, I am satisfied.
And what is your call to youths? Because, you know, problem snowballs over time.
Yes.
It is not nip in the bud.
Yes.
What is your call to those who have been appointed into key positions? How should they see themselves so that they will not give room for suspicion? Thank
you very much for this question. We are happy to say we commend the president, you know, for having given appointments to the youths. We are very proud of our colleagues that are serving in the presidency, who are within our age groups. You know, we commend that. We just want to speak to our colleagues whom have been given this opportunity to serve, that please, you have seen the president is giving his appointments without any sentiments. That is a marching order to you that have been given appointment to serve in his office, to administer your office without any prejudice, without any sentiments, without any tribalism. Just work for Nigeria, wherever you come from. If you are nominated by Khan, now you are a servant leader of the Nigerian
not
people.
Khan.
Not Khan. If you have been supported by
Murik or
Jama'atu Nasir as Islam
or Jama'atu Izala Telebidi,
you are now a servant leader of the Nigerian people, not where you come, not where your nomination come from or whatever it is. Let us just serve Nigeria, and that is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is saying to everybody.
Thank you very much. Now moving to security, are you not worried with the rise in crimes and criminality, especially in the last 2 months? Where did we get it wrong?
You see, Hamza, I always like to discuss this issue of insecurity with you because you have most of your life in your most very vibrant, active days on the field. You also worked in Maiduguri, and you saw it quite clearly how you understand the factors that are causing all this insecurity. I am not surprised, Hamza, that at a particular point in time, we had it went low.
Ahead of the election, especially.
Yeah, ahead of the election. Now it has spiked. You see, we must understand that until we secure our forests, Hamza, until we secure our forests, this thing is always going to come back at us. We are a Nigerian, we are geographically located in a region where most of our neighbors are not doing so well. Most of them are impoverished, sorry to say. You know, their governments, their economies, even though our economy is struggling too, but theirs is worse. So therefore, people are gravitating towards Nigeria. And in most of these states, we've had a lot of wars. Are you talking about Mali? Are you talking about Burkina Faso?
Libya.
Are you talking about Libya? All of these things have developed people who are bandits. They are like war merchants, you know. And as such, they have come to Nigeria either through Boko Haram, recruiting them to come and help them, you know, fight, carry out their terrorist activities, or through aggrieved Fulani headsmen, Fulani headers whom were attacked, especially during the 2011 post-election crisis, and they were angry, and their leaders told them, please, let's forget. Some of them refused and went to their neighbors, to their relations who are in these neighboring countries, and invited them to come and carry out reprisal attacks. These people came and discovered Nigeria was a gold mine. They knew Nigeria was rich. And as such, they now felt, why don't we now use our war merchant skills, you know, to develop, to accrue wealth for ourselves. This is the reason why you have all these things.
And you know, if you check the Northwest, for instance, Borno, Axis, down Katsina, Zamfara, you have all tribes and nationalities. They have formed a common ground now. Beyond the Fulani, you have almost every other ethnic group, because crime doesn't believe in religion or ethnicity.
Let me quickly add to that. I come from Kaduna State, Zangon Kataf local government. I'm a Christian from Southern Kaduna. I kept on saying to my people who listen, right, that the issues about the attacks in Southern Kaduna, Plateau State, and all of that, you know, you cannot just say it is basically a jihadist agenda. No, it is basically criminality. People who have taken advantage, you know, of our porous political situation, you know, and they are queuing in. They know that, okay, for instance, in Zangon Kataf or somewhere in Plateau State, there's a Muslim community, there's a Christian community that are tussling to produce a councillor, a local government chairman. They come in, they see that situation, and they cash into it. And we think that our problem is the people who we're staying with are trying to cause any kind. Then look at what happened in Zamfara. Zamfara is predominantly a Muslim state. Sokoto is predominantly a Muslim state. Which other state? Katsina. Are there not attacks been going there?
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
Okay, how far have you gone with the forest vanguards?
Except the forest guard, we are yet to hear anything from the president, who promised in his renewed hope agenda to revitalize the forest guard. And we are saying that except this forest guard are created, there is no permanent solution to our insurgency. Yes, we might have, like Kaduna State, my home state, my governor has promised that he's going to recruit, getting 7,000 hunters and vigilantes to help, you know, fight the bandits.
Just like Borno.
Just like Borno, I saw Bauchi is trying to do the same thing. But if Kaduna State is securing itself and are chasing down the bandits, where would the bandits go?
next state.
Next state. So therefore, the forest guard is important, so that we have it as a national body that would liaise with the Amotekun, with the hunters in Borno, with the hunters in Bauchi, with the vigilantes in Kaduna, to understand that you have chased these people. Where are they running? Where are they running to? If they are running towards Kogi State, round them up in this place. You know, so therefore, we are still calling that it is good that the state governors are carrying out initiative to bring in civilians through vigilantes and hunters to help secure their state, which is good. The federal government should, or I say it is mandatory, that we have this forest guard as a central body, so that to coordinate, you know, our forests. And sometimes, Hamza, some of these vigilantes or civilians, when they are created, they only guard the communities, the cities where the people are dwelling. We are saying that create a forest guard that will remain in the forest in Budningwari, for
or
instance.
rejuvenate the old one.
Yes,
we know that
yes,
since independence,
yes,
we had forest guards.
Yes, he says.
At the time, you were given certain number.
Yes.
That the federal government and the state governors should come together, and is it 180,000?
185,000.
Why? How did you arrive at that?
5,000 from each state. When Kashim Shettima, our vice president, was created civilian joint task force that helped us chase Boko Haram out of Maiduguri city, Borno State, Maiduguri city to Sambisa forest, which secured the government house, he recruited 20,000. They did the job. So we are saying that, okay, let's just take 5,000 for each state.
From 36 states.
From 36 states, including FCT. If you do that number, 185. If you pay those people 185,000, those are youths that have already been taken out of poverty. Those are youths that have been taken from being prone, or being feeble, or being fragile, or, you know, to fall into the hands of the bandits. Because these guys, when they come from their foreign countries, you know, they come, they take over villages, they force the youths to join them at some point. And sometimes they use incentives, you know, to recruit them. Just like what Boko Haram did by buying Keke Napep and all of that for the youths they created. So therefore, Hamza, we are saying that this forest guard, it is very, very important. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our dear president, saw it in his wisdom to say he's going to revitalize the forest guard.
So it's like a reminder now.
It's like a reminder, and we are saying that it is better it is done now. He is taking steps to fix our economy, going all over the world to invite investors to come to Nigeria. Those investors, when they come, we don't want investors to come and start crying, but investors to come and find out we have already secured Nigeria by securing our forests.
Now, don't you think maybe they will overtake the works of police, civil defense, the military, immigration, customs, and all that?
Yes, I mean there are human beings. There is human tendency for people to abuse their powers and cross over the borders or the line of their duties. But again, that is why we are human beings. That is why we have a state, and the state must define to them their marching orders, their role which they are going to play.
Rule of engagement.
The role of engagement. They must be defined to them, and they will have management which will ensure that they remain disciplined. And this is why we are saying it should be some kind of a paramilitary organization or some kind of paramilitary unit in the forest guard which carries small arm. And we have a lot of retired military men, you know, who are staying in the villages, who are staying in the cities. These people can come in as being the managers to ensure that this group remains a disciplined group that would adhere to the orders that are being given to them.
At the time, there was a move to have a bill in the National Assembly for the creation of forest guards. You heard of it, and where is it?
Yes, we heard of that. It was sponsored by a certain member from Taraba State, and it even scaled the second reading. But unfortunately, what we heard was that the member that sponsored it is no longer coming back to the assembly. I think he didn't win his election. So that probably means that since it is a new House of Assembly, it means that bill has been dropped. Yes. It has to be initiated and taken through a whole round again.
You will advise?
I would advise that that bill is dusted and reintroduced. But in the introduction of that bill, what his forest guard agenda was that they would man the road 100 meters beside any federal trunk. And to us, that is a limitation. Because these people that you want to guard, do you understand? They live deep into the forest, right? And as such, if you are saying that you only stay here, then you will leave them to be breeding, growing their territories, and by the time they will come and meet you in the road, they can be able to come and chase you.
Or maybe you sponsor a private bill.
Well, we're looking into that, but first we want to see government readiness. We have written to the National Security Advisor, our elder brother, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu. We are waiting to hear from him. We have suggestions on how even counter funding, since we know that we're in a period where we are lacking in funds, Nigeria. So we have ideas that we can share with the government to say, we think you can generate counter fundings here. People can provide helmets, people can provide uniforms, and you provide the salaries and all of that. But until we sit with them, we cannot just begin to just run around. We'll be happy to sponsor a private bill.
Thank you very much, Isaac Abrak, Chairman, Northern Christian Youth Professionals. Yes, we're veteran of sort, for coming to the program and for your informed perspective. We hope to have you again.
Thank you very much, Hamza.
Yes, and viewers, that's a wrap on today's package. We sincerely hope you found the conversation engaging and informative. And be sure to join Daily Politics Live, airing every weekday, and also our special package on Friday, during which we open our telephone line for you to comment on national issues. Once again, we thank you for watching. Bye-bye. I'm Hamza Idris.